Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Swiss Bohemian, I'm an old school otaku, and today I thought I would present my old VHS tapes. I was yesterday at my old parents' place and I took a lot of boxes, well actually three boxes full of VHS tapes of anime back to my place. And I thought I would present them now to you. So as you see in front of me, there is a box full of VHS tapes, and these are the tapes that I bought in the beginning of my, let's say, career as an anime fan. The very first tape, Kitchen Hayden, Mission Call for Kishin Thunder. It's a Pioneer release. Back in the day, Pioneer released the Tenju Muyo and other things, and Kitchen Hayden was one of these animation series. Well, it was an OAV, a short one, which fell a little bit through the cracks. Looks like that. Yeah, the only thing I remember, I think, was the music. High quality music, I think even an orchestra. That's a little bit similar to Giant Robo, which has had also an excellent soundtrack. And it came out by, so like I said, Pioneer, but this is like the PAL version. Many of these tapes which I will show are actually from the UK. The tapes I bought first in Switzerland were imported from the UK, and they were in the PAL format, so which means I could watch them on a regular VHS device. Slow step. These are French VHS tapes. You can see here it's written sous-titré en français. And this is a three-part. Here it's written one episode, here it's two episodes. I guess it's a three-part OAV series. It's based on a shoujo manga by Mitsuru Adachi. It came out in the early 90s, I think 1991, and in France on VHS tape, I think it was like 94, 95. 95 by AK Video. I'm a big fan of Adachi Mitsuru's manga, and I thought the OAV was also quite good. Like many of Adachi Mitsuru's series, it's a romance which takes place in a school setting. He's really a master at it. He's really good. The character designs, well, you like Adachi Mitsuru or you don't. He has a very distinctive art style. He likes to draw his characters with like the same faces usually, and with really big ears. I'm not quite sure, it might have been the very first time I was exposed to something by Mitsuru Adachi, based on Mitsuru Adachi's work. Might have seen some couple of episodes from Touch on French TV, but I don't really remember anymore. I think I bought that around 1996. Dirty Pair, Dan et Dany, that's the French name. Dan et Dany. It came out by Dynamic Vision, 75 minutes. It's the PAL version. It has the TV episodes 1, 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure these are the TV episodes, but they used artwork which was actually for the OAVs from 1987 and not for the television series. Yes, exactly. This is definitely the TV series. If you haven't seen Dirty Pair and you're an old school fan, I highly suggest you to really look it up. It's a classic for a reason. So my first exposure with Dirty Pair was on French television. I think it was around 1987, 1988. I was 12, 13 years old, and I was super impressed by Dirty Pair, especially also. I mean, they're sexy. They're quite sexy, and it left an impression on me as a 12, 13-year-old. I have also now Dirty Pair on DVD. I have some boxes from A Division. I think it's the older movies, the OAVs. I also bought the Japanese DVD box set, a quite thick one. What I don't have yet is Dirty Pair on Blu-ray. I need to upgrade one day Dirty Pair on Blu-ray. And of course on French television, I think I remember I recorded some episodes back in the late 80s. So that it's Dirty Pair, Dan et Dany. Armitage, the third, Pioneer, again PAL version, again a French tape. Player One is Player One was, I don't think it exists anymore, was a French video game magazine, and they also published articles about anime. Okay, the animation is from 1994, but Kase Animation released the tape in 1995. I see some well-known names here: Cédric Littardi, Pierre Giner. They worked on a French animation magazine called Animeland. They were quite involved in a movement in France which was dedicated to release animation uncut. It was a movement which it tried to make sure that not too much anime was cut on television, because back then it was like a very famous television program, Club Dorothée it was called. This show broadcast a lot of anime on French TV in the late 80s and in the 90s. Unfortunately, cut about 2 or 3 minutes per episodes because of like sexual content or because characters were drinking alcohol. And Animeland made sure that it didn't happen, or at least it tried to like educate the readers that actually what you are seeing on French television is cut a lot. So about Armitage, honestly, I don't really remember a lot about Armitage. I know this is like a favorite among some old school fans, quite cyberpunkish. I remember that I liked the soundtrack. I think I have the soundtrack somewhere in my collection. The ending was also quite good. I have even somewhere a laserdisc, but I was never really full into Armitage, so I cannot really tell about the plot. I have forgotten it. I can't really remember it anymore. You Are Under Arrest. Again, a French version. Les policières de choc et de larmes, d'après l'œuvre de Kosuke Fujishima. This is a subtitled version in French, volume 1. Again, AK video. It has 2 episodes, so yes, I can already tell by the pictures these are the OAVs and not the television series. It has 60 minutes and it came out in 1995. The OAV was from 1994, so interesting that the French had like a market already in place in the mid-90s, that a very new anime, an OAV, was already translated only a year later. That was not usual back in the time. Sometimes you had to wait 2, 3 or more years. This means that France had already kind of big demand for anime and also subtitled anime. You Are Under Arrest. I remember I saw You Are Under Arrest the first time at the OAV at a small convention in Switzerland in the French-speaking area on a big screen. I thought it was really funny. I loved it. Whoa! Akira. Ein flammender Neon-Albtraum, der Zeichentrick-Blade Runner der 90er Jahre. From Warner Home Video. Die neue Dimension der Science Fiction, the new dimension of science fiction. Yeah, right. This is one of my very first, maybe the very first VHS tape, anime VHS tape I ever bought. I probably bought it back in 1992, and I saw Akira before that rental video. I was 15 or 16. Back then, so probably bought that when I was 16. You have to be 16 to watch it, so perfect timing. Probably the best animated. I think Akira is really on a level of its own, and I was super impressed by the story and the gritty, dark themes and the pictures and of course Tetsuo's transformation into this big blob. Blah. Perfect. I have no idea, by the way, if my tapes actually still are working. I just picked it up from my old childhood bedroom yesterday, where they have been sitting more than 20 years. And I don't have a VHS device anymore, but I want to buy a new one. I mean, a used one in a good condition. And then I'll see if they still work. Evangelion. All releases from Dynamic Vision, probably starting from 1997, around 96, 97. Only 3 episodes. Evangelion, huge classic. Very, very influential. My first contact with Evangelion was in 96. See, it's based on the version from A Division. So I guess A Division back then had some rights to sell Evangelion outside of Japan, in the US and also in Europe or something. Again, I read here console joypad. So this is also a mag the console joypad. This is also again a video games magazine. So I guess back then magazines, French video games magazines, sponsored this kind of anime videos. Oh, there's an encyclopedia. What means angel, what means Evangelion, what means Geofront, the universe of Evangelion. Noddy, Le Secret de l'Œil Bleu. I'm a huge fan of Noddy. So these are the French tapes again. They came out by Manga Power. Manga Power, I think, was a label which was established by the French company which broadcasted the children's television show I mentioned earlier, the Club Dorothée. Manga Power, I immediately fell in love. I mean, this is a really perfect steampunk adventure show. I still think it's one of the very best, and it's a classic for a reason. I loved her as character design, I loved the music, the suspense, everything. I saw it for the very first time on a VHS tape by Streamline Pictures, and I have it in another box, and that is actually an NTSC tape, so a tape from the States. So I loved it a lot. I got into touch with other people in the French-speaking part of Switzerland who recorded it from French television already in 1991, so 3 years earlier it was already broadcasted. I got in touch with them and I stayed up the whole night. We watched like all episodes until 10 in the morning. 2-3 years later I bought these tapes. I got them like for quite cheap. 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes, 90 minutes. Very simple, no booklet, nothing. I wanted to show you a bit of my Noddy collection while I'm at it. I got the DVD box sets from A Division. A good friend of mine gave those to me for free because he upgraded to Blu-ray. I have like most single releases on DVD by A Division, with the exception of only two. Noddy on Blu-ray, 39 episodes in a 5-disc set. Size difference. Small, great. I have 2 laserdiscs, Japanese laserdiscs, volume 7 and volume 9. These are like the dreaded island episodes. Many people say they're really bad. I still kind of like those island episodes. I mean, there's like this famous kiss, first kiss. Allegedly first kiss between Nadia and Jean. One thing I love about laserdiscs is the artwork. I bought those for cheap in Japan, maybe like $5 to $10 a piece. So that was it for the very first part of my anime VHS tapes. My name is Swiss Bohemian. If you liked this video and want to see more of this content, please give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're in video. Write down below a comment and see you next time. Bye bye!